You know that feeling when you finish a workout and your upper body is pumped, your arms are tired, your shoulders are burning, but your legs barely even felt it. You walked in with weak legs and you're walking out the exact same way. That's not a motivation problem. That's not a willpower problem. That's a method problem. And right now, in the next few minutes, that's about to change. Here's what nobody tells you about leg training. Most people spend 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, working their legs and get almost nothing to show for it. The exercises feel awkward. The soreness never comes in the right places. And over time, you start to avoid leg day altogether because deep down you feel like your legs just don't respond the way they should. Sound familiar? You're not broken. You're not built differently. You've just been missing one thing. And that one thing is a 5-minute finisher that activates the exact muscle fibers most traditional leg exercises completely skip over. Now, before we get into it, I have to be honest with you. We have a full program linked in the video description below. It takes everything you're about to learn and builds an entire system around it. People who are already using it are seeing results that would have taken them months in just a few weeks. And the reason I'm mentioning now, before we even dive deep, is because the people who wait until the end of the video to consider it are usually the same people who've been waiting for months, years even, to finally do something about their legs. If you've been in that cycle, the description is right there. But for now, let's get into the real work. Let's talk about what weak legs actually cost you. Not just in the gym, in real life. Think about climbing a flight of stairs and feeling your quads shake halfway up. Think about standing up from a chair and needing to use your hands to push yourself up. Think about walking up a hill and being the person at the back of the group, out of breath, legs burning, while everyone else moves forward. That's not just a physical thing. That hits you somewhere deeper. It's embarrassing. It chips away at how you see yourself. And the worst part is that most people just accept it. They tell themselves it's their genetics. They tell themselves they're just not a leg person. They carry that story around with them for years. But here's the truth, and I need you to hear this clearly. Weak legs are almost never about genetics. They are about activation. Your central nervous system has to learn how to recruit your leg muscles properly. And if it never gets the right signal, those muscles stay dormant. They don't grow, they don't fire, they just sit there. And that's the problem 5-minute finishers were designed to solve. Now here's where the science gets interesting. The last few minutes of a workout are when your body is most primed for deep muscular adaptation. Your nervous system is already warm. Your blood flow is already at its peak. The muscle fibers that are hardest to reach, the ones that give you that dense, powerful leg development, those fibers only activate under sustained, concentrated effort right at the end of a session. That's not a theory. That's something coaches and training specialists have been using with high-level athletes for years. And now you're going to use it too. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine 5 weeks from today. You walk up those stairs. No shaking, no gripping the railing. You feel your quads engage with every step. Solid, controlled, powerful. You stand up from that chair without thinking about it because your body just does it. Your legs look different in the mirror. Not in a vague squint and maybe way, in a real, undeniable, your pants fit differently way. People notice. But more importantly, you notice. That version of you is not far away. That version of you is 5 minutes a day closer than you think. So let's break down exactly what this finisher looks like and why every single second of it works. The finisher is built on 3 movements. Each one targets a different function of your legs. And together, they create what training experts call a triple activation sequence. This is the same principle used by strength coaches who work with athletes who need fast, visible lower body transformation, not slow, gradual change. Fast change. Movement 1 is the pulse squat hold. You drop into a squat position, not all the way down, about 3/4 of the way, and you pulse. Small, controlled movements, just a few inches up and down. You do this for 60 seconds without stopping. Now here's what's happening inside your body during those 60 seconds. Your slow-twitch muscle fibers exhaust within the first 20 seconds. Then, your fast-twitch fibers kick in. Then your deep stabilizer muscles, the ones most people never reach, they take over. By the time 60 seconds is up, your legs have gone through 3 distinct layers of muscular recruitment. That's an entire spectrum of activation in 1 minute. Most people never get there in a full leg workout. Stay with me because this next part is where it gets even better. Movement 2 is the rear elevated split squat hold. 1 foot slightly elevated behind you on a step or a chair, front foot out in front. You hold the bottom position, not moving, just holding. 30 seconds per leg. This isolates each leg individually, which is critical. Research from sports performance labs shows that bilateral leg training, meaning training both legs at the same time, allows your dominant leg to compensate for your weaker one. The weakness never gets fixed, but when you isolate each leg, there's nowhere to hide. The weaker leg has to work. It has to catch up. This is one of the most underused tools in leg development, and it takes 30 seconds per side. Pattern interrupt. Stop for a second. Think about how many times you've done squats, lunges, leg press, and still felt like one leg was noticeably stronger or more developed than the other. That's exactly this problem. That imbalance is the reason your legs look uneven in the mirror. It's the reason one knee aches more than the other. It's the reason your lower back takes the hit when your legs can't handle the load. This movement fixes that. 30 seconds per side. That's it. Movement 3 is the standing calf raise with a full pause at the top. You rise up onto your toes, hold for 2 seconds at the peak, then lower slowly. You do this for 90 seconds straight. No rushing. Full range. Full pause. Your calves are notoriously stubborn muscles. They respond to training only when you give them time under tension and a complete stretch to contraction cycle. Most people bounce through calf raises and wonder why their calves never change. The pause at the top is everything. It creates the peak contraction that stimulates growth in a way that fast repetitions simply cannot match. Now let me give you the full picture of what happens when you do this finisher consistently. Week 1. You feel the soreness in places you've never felt before. Deep in your quads, behind your knees, in your inner thighs. That's recruitment. New muscle fibers firing for the first time. Week 2, the soreness shifts. It becomes more targeted, more specific. Your body is adapting. You'll notice your legs feel more stable when you walk. Week 3, visual changes begin. The definition starts showing up. The separation between muscle groups becomes visible. Week 4, people start asking what you changed. Week 5, you look back at who you were at the start of this and you almost don't recognize the difference. And here's the social proof that makes this undeniable. Trainers who've introduced this exact finisher to their clients have reported that people who could barely hold a squat for 15 seconds were holding it clean for 60 seconds by the end of the first month. People who had visible leg asymmetry saw it nearly equalize in under 6 weeks. People who had been doing traditional leg training for years of squats and deadlifts, finally started seeing the leg development they had been chasing the entire time. This works, not because it's complicated, because it's precisely targeted. You don't need an hour. You don't need a gym full of equipment. You don't need a complex program with 17 different machines. You need 5 minutes of focused, intentional effort at the end of your workout. That's the cost of entry. 5 minutes. And the return on that 5-minute investment is compounding. Every session, your nervous system recruits more fibers. Every session, your legs get closer to what you've been trying to build. Let me ask you something honestly. How long have you been dealing with this? 6 months? A year? Longer? How many times have you told yourself you'll figure it out next week, next month, when you have more time, when you feel more motivated? The thing about weak legs is they don't fix themselves. They get weaker with time if you don't give them the right stimulus. Every week you wait is a week further from the version of yourself you want to be. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not as wide as it feels. It's 5 minutes wide. That's the honest truth. Now, if you want to take everything you've learned here and stack it inside a complete system built specifically for people who want real, lasting leg development without spending hours in the gym, the program in the video description below does exactly that. Everything in there is designed to work for people who have tried the usual approaches and come up empty. Not everyone reading this description is ready to do what it takes. And honestly, some people will keep scrolling, keep putting it off, keep hoping something changes on its own. But if you're the kind of person who sees a clear path forward and takes it, it's there waiting for you. The people who acted on this today, weeks from now, they're going to look back on this moment as the turning point. That choice is yours right now.